Welcome to episode 52 of the Unstoppable podcast. My name is Dan J. Gregory, and I am committed to hunting down the secrets of business mastery and human performance. My goal for the Unstoppable podcast is to share insights from some of the most successful entrepreneurs, inspiring thought leaders, world-class athletes, and prominent celebrities to help you to become unstoppable in business and life. Each week I'll be bringing you a new interview with an inspiring person and sharing my own results as I pursue the answers to the question, how can I create the ultimate edge in my business, make a significant impact, and live an extraordinary life? Welcome to episode 52 of the Unstoppable podcast. Welcome to this Monday solo round. Now, I've got an announcement to make right at the start of this show to frame the episode. Up until now, up until the 50th episode at least, I've taken a lot of care and a lot of diligence and put a lot of research into every single one of these Monday episodes. And what this involves is countless hours and even days preparing for the episode to whittle it down to this 30-minute chunk of really high-level value. But it's been really interesting because I wonder if the decision to do that when I first started was a decision based out of fear. See, if you listened to the episode recently with Mandy Morris, where we looked at why people make decisions the way they do, why they feel the way that they feel, and when we make decisions based out of love or fear. And I believe when I first started the podcast, I started scripting the episodes based out of a fear of not knowing what to say or not knowing that the content would be good enough. Now, that is obviously a decision made out of fear. So I've made the new decision going forward that I'm no longer going to script the episodes. I'm committed to bringing you the best quality content, but I also have full faith that the best quality content is already within me. So the hours and hours of research that I was spending putting into these episodes is going to go. And one of the pieces of feedback I had from my mastermind group is that they love the podcast, they love the content, it's very structured, there's a very clear message. However, what they miss is the full effect, the full force of DG. When I just go on a rant and I choose a topic and I just go, I get in flow, I get in state, and I go full power into that particular topic. So that's where I want to take the show. I've got this vision now of using the Monday episodes. I'm going to make some kind of sweeping changes to the Monday episodes to really showcase my content, my expertise, my thoughts, my philosophies, my strategies on Mondays. Because up until recently, again, I was still using the platform to highlight the key lessons that I've learned from the other speakers that I've had on the show, which is incredibly valuable both for you and I believe. However, I want to strip that out of the show and do that on Facebook Live going forward as a separate session, really to hone on creating my own platform now with these Monday episodes. So what can you expect going forward? Every Monday, I'm going to be releasing the episode early doors, 6 a.m. on a Monday, so that you can have it as your Monday motivational round. And I'll be sharing my own unique content and stories and experiences to help you to become unstoppable in business and life. So what can you expect? In addition to this, well, without the notes, you might experience me stopping, stuttering, starting again, swearing, who knows. But this is really my personal challenge. For those of you familiar with someone like Brendon Burchard, who is probably one of the foremost personal development speakers and business experts in the world, he releases an immense amount of content, and all of it is unscripted. He freestyles like a beast. He will go for hours without a script, without notes. And I aspire to do that. I really want to do that. And the only way, like any skill in life, is to dive in 2 feet first and make it happen. So I hope that you will bear with me over the coming weeks. I know there will be times when I just get stuck, frustrated, I go the wrong way. Some parts I might edit out, but I'm just going to keep rolling anyway. So what are we going to talk about today? Today's Monday solo round, given everything I've just said, well, today's topic is the death of independent thought, and this goes hand in hand with the introduction to the show. You see, when I was creating all the content for the show, it's research. My first port of call is Google or my reference library here in my apartment where I record the podcast from. I've got a whole library of books. And it's really going to other people's opinions and thoughts and expertise prior to going to my own. And how many of us do this on a day-to-day basis? How many times do you find yourself, instead of independently thinking about what the answer to the question is or the solution to the problem that you have, using your own independent thought rather than turning immediately to asking Google, asking YouTube, clicking a link on Facebook, looking for outside sources before you trust your own inner intuition or your own inner knowing? I just think it's a little crazy, and I've had enough. And I think we live in this world where we outsource thought. We're trying to outsource thought. We live in this distraction frenzy, notification, mobile generation where we no longer think independently. And I really think as a result of that, we are depriving ourselves of our truest essential gifts, that deepest power that we have each within us. And, I spoke recently on my first Facebook Live, really pleased to release my first Facebook Live. And thanks to those of you who have tuned in, I'll include a link in the show notes so you can check it out if you haven't seen it. But I talked about that everyone, I believe, has a greatness within them. I believe that everyone has greatness within them. And it's just a matter of finding it. But we'll never find that greatness if we're relying on outside thought. And I've been doing a lot of inner work over the last few weeks in preparation for this kind of second half of the year. There's lots of things I'm really pleased with in terms of the direction that my life and my business is going, but there's lots of areas where I'm deeply dissatisfied. And the only way to create change is, rather than looking outside of me, is to look inside of me. So if there's anything you're working on right now where you're looking to create change, if you're anything like me, your first habit is to go to the internet, type in something into Google and look for someone else's expertise or someone else's solution to the problem. Well, I no longer believe that is the best place to start. Some of the deep work I've done on myself over the past few weeks is really getting clear on who I want to show up as going forward as a human being, who I want to project, how I want to project myself into the world, what I want to create, exactly what I want to experience. Because over the past few years, I've spent a lot of time really studying and really learning from a lot of other people. But the danger of doing that, when you enter into that world of really studying others at depth, is that you start to not only take upon their viewpoints, but you take upon their values, their beliefs, their philosophies, which may be completely in contrast with your own deepest personal wiring. For example, there's a lot of people now who follow Gary Vaynerchuk, for example. He's the master of social media. He is everywhere. But he's an example of someone, if you pay full attention to what that guy is saying, this 18-hour days, grind, and that becomes your reality, then you start to compare yourself against someone else who's got a completely different blueprint, a completely different set of values, a completely different set of desires and insecurities, and you start to measure yourself up against someone else who is not you. They don't live like you. They don't think like you. But the problem is, in this world of the death of independent thought, we look to outside influences before looking inside. So one of the biggest decisions I've made over the past few weeks, I've been working with my coach on this. And if you guys don't have a coach, just get one. Just if it's me or someone else, get a coach, because they can help you see clearly. The power of deep questioning to really understand what it is that you most want. And one of the things I've been kind of ranting and raging about on my coaching sessions is, look, I am cutting off from outside sources. I really want to get in tune with the truth that is within me, my core message, because it's very easy to start building your business and modeling the things that work in other people's businesses. And that's, by the way, that is a very powerful source of development. If somebody has already achieved what you want to achieve, they would have left a roadmap. There are clear, logical steps and strategies that you can follow, that you can learn from other people. I am not saying that is something I'm moving away from. I believe that, there are always shortcuts or the shortest path to the result, which has been established by people who have gone ahead of you to learn that path. So you can still learn the strategies and principles that enable you to avoid those pitfalls along the way, anticipate the road ahead, and create the result much faster. But that is all you want to model. You still need to come at the situation with your unique perspectives, your unique personality, your unique self, because otherwise you're going to be trying to be a carbon copy of someone else. And this is something, it's not something I've done deliberately, but I do feel over the past few years, I've been modeling so much that I've kind of lost my way and almost my sense of self. So over the last couple of weeks, it's been a real case of I'm drawing the line. I'm going to focus on exactly who I am, what I want to create, the message I want to send into the world, and really claim and own it. And I remember there was a specific situation, and I said at the start about going on a rant. I'm on it. I've got no notes now. There's absolutely nothing. I'm charging. I've got the ball here. I'm running. There was a business event I went to several years ago, and one of the speakers, and I respect him hugely. He's a hugely instrumental guy, very inspirational, great speaker, hilarious guy. But he gave me some advice that I took to heart as I trusted him as an expert. But his advice is based upon his unique set of experiences, and that has shaped his viewpoint, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's true for me. And I made so many decisions as a result of that one piece of advice that restricted my business so severely for around 6 to 9 months, because I took the direct intention of his message and interpreted it in a very specific way, which said I should not do this type of thing because it's over. No one else is doing it anymore. But you know what? If no one else is doing it anymore, sometimes it's good to run the opposite direction to everyone else. If I'd gone back and listened to that point again, I would potentially agree with some of the things he was saying, but I would see the world very differently. You have to see the world from your map of the world. So my kind of message throughout all of this conversation we're having here is you have creativity inside of you. You have this unique ability, a unique message, a unique perspective. I encourage you to take some time every single week just to detach from outside sources. It's so easy to slip into this pattern of just picking up your phone and you scroll Facebook, or you scroll Instagram or Twitter or whatever channels you use, and it's just bombarded with these outside information, outside sources, outside viewpoints, and it's just, you have to create before you consume. And I've fallen into the trap recently. I've fallen into bad habits. And again, I've been discussing this with my coach and talking about the underlying reasons. I don't think my habits have necessarily shifted. I think I've moved as I try and transition myself now into this new phase of feeling the fear again. It's very easy to feel the fear when you start doing something you haven't done before. This episode is the first one I've done in an absolutely long time where I'm just freestyling, no notes, no script. You'll notice the difference, and I do apologize if it's not as polished and nice and tidy as all the other episodes. But I hope you feel the energy and the integrity and the passion that I have for sharing this with you. So you have creativity inside of you. I strongly recommend spending some time without outside influence. Get away from the distraction frenzy that is social media, email notifications. Just switch off and unplug. And funny enough, the reference I'm about to use is from an outside source. Contradictory, ironic. But he was talking, this Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma is someone who does inspire me greatly. He was talking about finding this unique space. He was giving this unique analogy about this artist and how this artist would go to this unique location, which was inspirational for him, that it'd be a center of creativity. And again, modeling the principles, not the actual action here. I don't go and have to find some log cabin on the woods on the countryside of Canada to have this thought. It's the principle of finding a space where I can switch off and create and be with myself, be with my thoughts, and have that independent thinking time. Now think about when you're a kid. That creativity that you had. Do you remember when you were growing up at school, painting? I was always useless at painting, but I loved getting my hands in the paint and making a mess, or drawing, or playing with Lego, or whatever it was for you. Think about that inner child inside of you. Think about that joy you had from that pure, unhinged creativity where you were free to express yourself exactly how you want to express yourself without any fear of judgment. Able to make your own decisions to some extent, depending on the leash around your neck that you have as a child or with your family environment, etc. But my point is, think about that joy that you had from just being fully present, fully connected to who you are, no perception of what's right or wrong. That unique formative period where you were truly creative. I encourage you to tap into that inner child, find a unique space where you can disconnect and just be with yourself, be with your thoughts, and make your art. Find space to create your own unique message find your unique perspectives, and really trust in the inner message within you. So it's time to find that white space, I call it, that dream time where you can be truly focused in finding exactly the message that you want to share with the world. And yes, be influenced by other people's perspectives and opinions and expertise, but ultimately create first and then consume. Trust yourself. With this episode, with these episodes going forward, if I do choose to use research as part of my program for the particular show, I'm going to start by creating first and then looking at the outside research. Rely on your own opinions. Trust in yourself. That's all I've got for you today, so I must sign out. I hope you found this episode useful. I hope it stimulated some thought. Please do give me some feedback. I'm really interested to know what you think about this off-the-cuff rant, and if you felt a difference from the kind of scripted, prescribed episodes that I've been going so far. I'm not taking away the value of those episodes. I really have enjoyed making those episodes, but now I want to take a different track, and I hope you'll stay with me as I kind of find my feet over the coming weeks. The final point on that is if you're in the same position and there's something that you need to do different in your business, and perhaps feeling the fear of doing it, the fear of taking the step, how about you come with me over the next few weeks and take that step yourself and share some ideas with me as you go along. I appreciate you listening as always. Thanks for listening to the Unstoppable podcast. Please subscribe, share this episode. I really appreciate you as a listener. I hope we get to connect soon. Until next time, go out there, unleash your greatness, build your empire, make your impact, and live your ultimate life. You are unstoppable.